I was never a rich kid. Dad worked long hours. Us kids never saw him much. Mom slaved in the kitchen. She put blood, sweat, and tears in just to make us happy. I wouldn't say I had the best early childhood. My father was a drunk. A working alcoholic is what my mother would call him. He liked to come home, drink a case of beer, and hit anybody who rubbed him the wrong way. After a while, he started working so many hours that I didn't see him anymore. My mother was a sweet lady. She put up with more than she deserved. I had two older brothers, Josh and Mika. Josh was 2 years older than me, and Mika was three. Josh and Mika fought a lot. Josh would always make fun of his name. "You have a girl's name, pig breath." He would scream, trying to put his fear of his older brother in the back of his mind. Mika would simply just punch Josh in the face. That would then lead to a WWE match on our living room floor. Josh would sometimes win, but mostly never. Josh was always the nice one. He always stuck up for me. Mika was always mean to me, but he knew better than to put his hands on me. As I got older, and so did they, things changed. Mika grew worse, always fighting at school, always yelling at mom. Josh became the angel boy, as Mika would say. By the time my 10th birthday was coming up, both Mika and Josh had grown worse than distant. They never talked to each other anymore. They simply act like one another was dead. Josh being 12 and Mika being 13 didn't help. Josh had been getting straight A's and getting awards left and right, while Mika had been getting terrible grades and just recently got suspended for fighting. I bet you guys are wondering about me now, huh? Well, I'm Jessica. I was the only girl, so that meant I was mom's miracle baby. Third time's the charm, right? She loved me and I loved her. She was very protective, always watching over us, making sure we all stuck together. I loved her with all my heart. Mika hated me. He constantly picked on me and called me names. Josh, on the other hand, was an outstanding brother. When I was younger, he would always take my beatings for me. No matter what, he always made sure I was safe. A week before my 10th birthday, my father had moved out. He still sent every check to my mother, but that was the extent of hers in our relationship with my father. My mother didn't seem bothered by it. She was used to sleeping in bed alone and waking up alone. It was like a normal thing to her now. Plus, it meant no more drunken beatings for her. The abuse my father gave us ended for the kids right after my 8th birthday. That's when he worked more hours and we saw him less and less. However, for my mom, it never stopped. I turned 10 on a Saturday. It was very hot out. One of those days that you could just see the trees sweating. Me and Josh had plans to ask mom if we could ride down to the local gas station together. We were almost certain she would say no. I told Josh that he had a better chance of convincing her. I was right. Soon Josh came running outside with $10. We hopped onto our bikes and started to pedal. The ride there was great. We felt more grown up. Josh looked over at me as we were pulling into a gas station and said out of the blue, "Sis, I love you." That was rare in our family. We never really said that. We just assumed that everybody knew. I laughed and told him he was the best big brother ever. We parked our bikes and ran into the gas station. Josh and I thought it would be best to split the money. We headed to the freezer section and started looking for something to drink. Eventually, we both picked Dr. Pepper. We headed to the candy aisle next. That's when Josh started to act weird. He began to visibly get nervous. "Josh, what's wrong?" I said, worried. He began to laugh and quietly said, "Get what you want and let's go." We both rushed and paid for our items. We basically ran to the door and hopped onto our bikes. He told me to pedal fast. We took off down the road. He told me to take a left and circle back around. For a moment, he looked back, and as soon as he did, he pedaled faster. When we got to the house, he looked back once more. Then he began to relax. We dropped our bikes onto the ground and ran inside. We headed upstairs and into his room. He slammed the door shut. As he walked towards me, I could see the sweat dripping from his face. He frantically started to pace back and forth and push his short brown hair back. "Okay, Jessica, listen. Listen very carefully." As we were walking into the candy aisle, I saw a man. He was in dark clothes, a dark black hoodie and a dark blue jeans. He kept staring at you. Then, when I looked back at him, he had a picture of you in his hands. That's why we had to go. There was something wrong. I looked at him and started laughing. "Josh, you are freaking out over nothing." He started to laugh too and agreed he was probably overreacting. Later that night, Mom told us to go out and put our bikes into the garage. I had the best bike in the whole neighborhood. It was pink with white stripes and it had a bell and a basket. Josh's bike was a close second to mine. It was black and blue with basketballs all over it. As we ran outside, I noticed something weird. My bike was moved. It was closer to the road. There was something else to it. It had a white piece of paper taped to it. Josh took off down a driveway and grabbed a bike. He ripped the note off and ran up. He handed it to me. His hand was shaking and his breath was shallow. I opened the note and it read the following. "Today was the closest I ever been to you. Your hair smells so good. I'm so happy we are together. I'll be watching. Happy birthday." I began to feel my knees buckle. I couldn't catch my breath. Was this some sick joke? Just then, I heard a yell from somewhere down the dark street. It was a deep, manly voice. "I love you, Jessica." Hey, it's Miss Creepypasta. Thank you for watching my first video that I posted on this channel. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe button. There will be more videos to come. Thank you.